Um, Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be given this great opportunity to give my talk. And I'm very happy to see many attendees to this program. So today I will talk about the caries dentin as a bonding substrate. As you know very well about the concept of the minimal intervention, this is to provide a minimally invasive approach for the restoration of the caries tooth. And according to this, we are working to develop the adhesives as well as direct bonding procedures. And this concept was realized by the development of the excellent adhesive material as well as the selective caries removal technique, especially developed by my teacher, Professor Takao Fusayama. This is a caries detecting dye solution. And of course, this was developed in 1970s, but at that time, there was no adhesive, unfortunately. From this kind of information, we can say that the hardness number of the caries region may not be a good guide for the caries removal. If we try to remove the region with bacterial invasion. By the development of this caries detecting dye solution, the caries region was very clearly stained and differentiated between the outer region and the inner region of caries. That's why even in the case of arrested region, we can remove the bacterial invaded region if we remove the discolored dentin or stained dentin. So this is the summary of the caries removal technique of Dr. Takao Fusayama. And here, the tubules is opened without the crystal precipitation. That's why if we cut this intact dentin area, the patient feels the sensitivity because of the movement of the fluid in the tubules. However, in the case of the cutting at this part, the movement of the fluid does not occur. So that's why the patient does not feel the sensitivity when we cut this part because of the presence of the transparent dentin here. According to this discoloration or staining, we cut only this part, and at the same time, this is a cavity perforation of this case, and we can bond to the cavity wall and floors. Of course, as the bonding substrate, this part of dentin is the caries affected dentin, and this dentin is slightly demineralized. I mean, the dentin is a little bit more organic phase, organic material rich dentin than natural dentin. And this is a very old clinical case of mine. And you can see the caries undermined. Of course, we open the cavity with high-speed cutting. Then in this case, the natural discoloration is very remarkable. And of course, we can remove this natural discolored dentin caries. But sometimes we recommend to apply this caries detecting dye solution. Of course, I remove these caries, this part and here. Then I apply the pressure from the purple side to squeeze out the red dye solution. Then you can see that the red dye solution is infiltrated through the dentinal tubule from the purple side. But it can be seen at this intact dentin area. So we evaluated the pain during this kind of restoration technique, the removal of caries. We utilized a visual analog scale, VAS method. We showed this line with the 10 centimeters that is 100 millimeters, and we requested our patient to indicate how painful during the restoration procedures. The patient may mark like this, and we can measure the length from this point to this marking. Then we can convert the degree of the pain from 0 to 100. At the same time, a lot of intact dentin was cut already. So probably the too much cutting of the intact dentin, and in addition to that, the very poor bonding may cause the pulpal irritation and the necrosis, unfortunately. On the other hand, this is my cavity preparation. I just removed the outer region of this. Almost all the dentin in the corner part was lost. However, the patient did not feel severe sensitivity. Of course, this appearance of dentin is a typical appearance of the caries affected dentin. In the clinical situation, we remove the caries, outer caries region according to the staining of the region and according to the color of the dentin and sometimes the wetness of the cutting debris. And the sensitivity of the patient is also a very important information for us to diagnose the caries dentin to be removed. Of course, when the judgment is not so easy, we try to apply the dye solution to confirm. Then directly we can bond and reconstruct the shape of the tooth like this. Fortunately, this patient still come to my clinic even after my retirement. After 20 years, this restoration still survives in the mouth of my patient, and interestingly, the periapical region disappears. Probably because this is a very good bonding and sealing of the root canal. So that's why the periapical region was very well healed and disappeared. But on the other hand, sometimes in the clinical situation, we need to take care of the very deep caries region. And this is our recent publication showing the relationship between the depth of caries region and the incidence of the endodontic treatment after 2 years of the composite resin films. The depth of the caries region was classified according to this measurement, from the surface of tooth to the bottom of the region, and this is from surface to the pulpal wall. This AB to AC is the percentage of the depth of the region. Interestingly, the case of the caries depth less than 80%, the occurrence of the endo was only 0.5%. Among about 400 cases, only 2 cases needed the endo. But in the case of the caries region, more than 80%, very deep caries region, among 99%, 14 cases showed the endo. So this 14% is high or low, I cannot say that. But on the other hand, we can say that 85% of the case did not require the endo.